All right, so I have a few extra scientific notation problems if it's not making complete sense to you right now. Let's just start with something kind of small. Let's say I have 35,000, and I want to write it in scientific notation. This right here would be standard, and this would, we're going to write it in scientific. I'm going to put sci note for scientific notation. So the way I would think about this is I would first put my first digit that's there in the ones place, and then a number that's after that that's not the zeros at the end in the after the decimal. So now I have to figure out what do I need to multiply this by, what factor of 10, what power of 10 do I need to multiply this by to get 35,000. And the way I can think about that is just think about, well, if I have 3.5, I need to go let me do a different color here. I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spots to the right. So in that case, this is going to be 3.5 times 10 to the fourth. Let's look at another one. So it's like saying basically 3.5 times 10,000 gives me 35,000. Let's look at another one where I have 780, well, not 80, 702 million. Okay, so I'm going to put my first number, that's my first digit, in the ones place. And even though I have a 0 right after that, it's not just 700 million. It's not 7000000. I have a 2 right there, so I'm still gonna have to put 02, and then I don't have to write the rest because then it's just zeros. But if there's like a 0 in between the two of them, I still have to put that number there. I need to figure out what I'm going to multiply this by. I'm going to go right after the 7 and then see how many spaces, how many powers of 10, how many places I need to go till I get to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be times 10 to the 8th. Right there, it looks like a weird backwards 6 times 10 to the 8th. Let's try a problem that's going to be a small number. Let's say I have 0.00000059. I'm going to put the first number that shows up. This time it's way on the small end, but it's the first number that shows up. 5, and then the numbers after that I'm going to put after the decimal. That first number that shows up goes in the ones place. And I'm going to multiply by a factor of 10, but it's basically going to be 10 times smaller, 100 times smaller, 1,000 times smaller. I got to figure out how many times smaller this has got to be. So I'm going to pretend my my decimal's right here, and I got to find out how many spaces back do I need to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces back till the decimal's in the right spot. So I can't put 6 because that's going to say that this number is 10 to the 6th power bigger, but I need to put -6 to show that I'm actually getting smaller. This is a very, very small number that I'm writing in scientific notation. Let's try one more small one. 0.000005. I already did 5. 0.000801. And so I'm going to put my first number that shows up. It says 8 in the ones place. Well, I can do purple still. 8 in the ones place. And then the numbers afterwards I need to put after the decimal. Even though that's a 0, I still have a 1 there. So that 0's in between, so I still need to put it there. And how much smaller should I make this? Let's see. If I had my decimal right here, 8.01, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to that -10th power. So if you wanted to kind of look at these numbers and think, well, what if I had this number first and then I had to turn it back into standard? Well, you can kind of do the same thing. You would just write 3 and a 5, and then if it's 3.5 and it's times 10 to the 4th, that means you're going to move your decimal place 4 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you fill in the gaps with zeros. So 35,000, which is what we have over here. Same thing over here. I'm going to write the 702. This is going to get bigger, so it's going to be times 10 to the 8th. If my decimal place is right after the 7, this has got to go, I should have used red. This has got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm going to fill in the rest with zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the same number I had over here, which is what we want. And same thing if you're getting a number that's much smaller. I'm just going to write 5/9, but I'm going to write it at the end here because I know it's going to put a bunch of zeros before that. 10 to the negative 6. Take my decimal. Let's go red. Take my decimal and then go 6 places to the left because it's a negative and it's getting smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fill in my gaps with, that's a really bad decimal, my gaps with zeros. And same thing with the final one, 801, 8 and 1,000 times 10 to the negative 10. I'm going to write my 801 way at the end here. And then I'm going to pretend my decimal is right after the 8 and go negative 10 spaces, negative 10 place values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't have a lot of space here, but you fill in each one with zeros. So that's scientific notation. If it still is not making a whole lot of sense, just we'll meet together and we can figure this out.